Well, congratulations. We've made it. It is the sixth 6 weeks. So great job. We've made it. Thank you so much for your hard work this year. I know that the kids have just benefited from your great instruction. So let's take a look at Unit 6 and what we have that we need to accomplish. Um, Kids need to be at a level V. Really would like for them to leave at a W, being very strong. Once again, you see the minutes that we've had all year long. But the thing that we really want this time, we're going to be talking about research. We want them to determine, locate, and explore the full range of relevant sources, addressing a research question, and systematically record the information they gather. So, along with them continually reading independently, we're going to be researching and using those standards this 6 weeks. Once again, they really do need to, like with the PDSA, make sure that you are looking at, especially this 6 weeks, looking at how are they growing as a reader, really talking to them about how they're going to grow as a reader over the summer. Once again, if you haven't used the tic-tac-toe and your literacy responses and using those rubrics to get grades, that is something you might want to look into. One of the best way to really assess where your kids are is with a running record or a reading record. A running record is when you take a book that they are reading and you don't have the words and you are making the tick marks as they do it. That's a running record because it's like on the run. A reading record is like the one right here on my left. It's where the words are there for you and scripted where you can make the marks and do those type of things. One of the things as we go around talking to about the new or just the new improved structure, Birdville structure of guided reading, is the reading process about how you can get 3 grades from a running record or a reading record. And would love to have the opportunity to talk to you about that. You just call me and I'll be glad to talk to you about how you get 3 grades from one running record or a reading record. But that really tells you where your kids are. So let's take a look at word work. Once again, it's that vocabulary. You're looking at Latin, Greek, roots, and affixes, and you're also looking at using context around um, the um, the words to determine what they have the meaning. One thing that I really want to stress to you is that they really need to know those sight words, those homophones, and all of those spelling concepts that we have done through the English word study. So really making sure to go back and see what are the skills they still need help with. So as we're looking at word work with the English word study, we're looking at prefixes here: trans, super, anti, mid, semi. So you take a look at how you might look at it. Your English word study will show you how to work with that. You are to analyze the structure of 4 to 5 words each day. That just helps kids to really have a strong foundation in looking at words. Week 33 to 34 is Greek roots, and it just shows you the Greek words that we're looking at. Week 35 and 36 is like what we just talked about. Use this time to really review the major skills that they learned in 5th grade. The spelling test will have 6 review concepts and 6 sight words from K through 5. So just those are your spelling and your word work. Academic vocabulary is really around what we're asking them to do with research and those type of things. So make sure that these guys really understand what these words mean. So research is what we're doing this 6 weeks. And still along with that is that independent reading time, and our genres are poetry and research, and then the conventions are those sight words and silent sounded consonants and those Greek and Latin root words. April is National Poetry Month. um, as you're reading poetry, this is such a great opportunity. Your star is over. Let's let them just really explore the genre of poetry. I've given you a link here to the National Poetry Month and the things that you can do. But looking at, as they're researching, is like, how did poets use the research method to create the poems that they have? Here is what I got off of National Poetry Month. Like, here's some different ways to celebrate National Poetry Month. I would really love it if your kids would send me the poetry that they're doing. We could really highlight them in some special way. Um, Poetry is just a great way, and I think teaching them how to write poetry and examining poetry would be just amazing. Of course, your librarians can help you with this. Um, just look at the different ways to celebrate that. So celebrate poetry. Of course, once again, as you do the research, remember your librarian is your best support for this. They understand the research process. They've not already talked to your kids about it. That would be, I would have them bring them in for your focus lessons. What I'd like for you to do, Dawn and I would really like for you to combine the social studies, and if you teach social studies, take this time to really hone in on those things that they're learning in social studies. And then if you teach science with it, make science work for you. So we use the Big Six in Birdville. Your librarians know exactly what it is. And so as I go through here, I'm going to be using the Big Six. I've given you also a link to it so you could understand it. But remember, those librarians understand it. So the first thing you're going to do in task 1 is generate questions for research. You don't really have to generate any questions because your social studies guided questions are amazing this 6 weeks, because one of the things they're going to do is brainstorm, consult, and decide on a topic. So putting before them those guiding questions from your social studies units would be just amazing. And they're just that great question that will help them to guide their research. Then, as they begin looking for 2 and 3 information seeking strategies, how do they go about looking for them? And then where do they find them? So, looking at this, gathering resources within your social studies units, you have your Pearson's My World chapters 12, 13, 14, and 15, and then all those great books that you have, the websites that Dawn has for you, and then ask your librarian to help you get some resources together. And then get note gathering. I like this example of, helping kids to really understand putting the information then they have together, not really using note cards anymore, but helping them to put all these things like, here was the question that I had. What did source 1 tell me about that question? Gathering all their information before they ever decide of what type of project that they need. So, researchers accurately record the facts they find, but do not copy the words of the researchers. They cite their sources, and they use multiple sources to build knowledge and to confirm the reliability of the information. So once again, that librarian is a great way for you to do. So that research, I really would just love to see what you're doing this 6 weeks. Dawn and I would love for you to be able to use, like, if you'd like to send us what you're researching. We'll highlight it. We'll come out. We'd love to do that. So in the writing, you know that we need to be at stage 10 or 11 strong. But now what they're going to do is, one of the ways they could do that research is in some sort of writing, put all that information together, compiling all of that, and using all those different things to really compile. They could do a poem, they could do an expository piece. So it'd just be a great way to do that. So your grammar alert, excuse me, is like, these are the things you're really looking for as they go off to 6th grade. Punctuating sentences with adverb clause. Routinely proofread to check the accuracies of spelling patterns, including words with I before E, words with consonant changes, words with vowel changes, those K through 5 sight words, and frequently missed words. And then, of course, this time is using resources to validate the accuracy of factual information. So during this whole time with writing, it's really going to be around their research topic. But once again, they can use the different things about using freeze time to show what they know. If that's the way that they want to show what they know about their topic, is writing about it, would be amazing. And using those introductions and concluding well-developed paragraphs, varied sentence streaks, transitions. This is a really way to just hone in on all those skills that you've worked on in writing all this 6 weeks. And then we want them to share. Students organize and present their ideas and information. Now, I think it's a great idea for them to write about it, but also then let them create something very different with using technology. They could do an iMovie, they could do a video, they could do slides in Google Drive, they could do a s'more, they could do a kid blog, all kinds of different things to share the knowledge of what they've done with the research. So your digital learning specialist would be your most, they could get this done really well for you. The sixth product of the big six is the evaluation using rubrics. Rubistar is one of the best ones I know for really looking at creating a rubric. Before you really need to start that before you ever decide on your research. How are you going to evaluate the kids? So Rubistar is a great way to get a rubric, and they already have them. I've given you the link here about this is elementary research rubric that you can find right off Rubistar, because that'll give kids the idea about where they're going. So once again, I want to show this. If you click on here, this will show you some organized research with Google Slides and how and some different ideas that maybe that you could do with your kids this 6 weeks. But your digital learning using Google Slides is a great way too for them to show what they know. So have a great six 6 weeks and end the year at a great note. I want you to really encourage your kids to read and write over the summer and to really do some great things with what they've learned. So let us know how we can help you.